everybody, don't mind my makeup or the lighting. This is gonna change multiple times during recording, mostly because I'm doing 24 outfits in one video, and that's definitely not something that I can record all at once. Therefore, it's probably gonna be 2 or 3 separate days, so, you know, joy. I'm also dealing with a giant cat over here, so for the most part we're gonna be following Sheepmareeep's challenge format, except that she made a new prompt for every single day, while I'm doing them all in one go, in one video, and to make it harder on myself, I also decided to assign 2 new items that have come out in this patch that I have to style together with the outfit, and I'm gonna just be trying to explain why I made things the way that I did in this video. The assignment process was random. I wrote out the names of the items, what category they belong to, and what set they came from, just so that I remember, and then I used a random number generator, and whichever number that was still remaining that was the closest to the one that rolled is the one that I would assign to like a specific prompt. And I was going through all of the prompts, giving 2 items like that. If I assigned 2 of the same item to a prompt, then I would just go 1 number down in order to not have like 2 chokers or 2 tops or something like that. So some of these will have items that are actually hard to style, and then some of these will have items that are pretty friggin' random. Like I can just get nails and earrings, which doesn't change much, but then also I can get the safety hat, which has happened. Definitely a lot more prompts are harder than easier to do this way. So anyway, let's begin, shall we? The first prompt was strawberry shortcake, and I had to style a safety hat from Visionary Dreamer set, and quick updo from Ingenious Maker set, and that's the hair. I don't know how I did with this one. She's carrying honey to indicate that she is definitely sweet. I have like a little line that's going through her middle. That's supposed to be layers. We're having a lot of red on the top of her head. That's the giant strawberry. And we're having a bit of red in between white, to indicate strawberry filling with white cream. I feel like there's not enough lines to indicate layers. Like I have that one line in the middle. I also kinda I don't like that I used this dress in particular. Not because there's something wrong with the dress, but because this is one of the random discarded 5 stars that you get from, you know, pulling on 4-star outfits from like the top, or do 25 pulls and get this thing, or like whatever. So it cost me like 46 dye prisms in order to make it look like that, and it doesn't even look all that impressive. Next prompt was red velvet cake, and I had to style Time to Unwind, which is Visionary Dreamer set's gloves, and Shroomling Charm, which is a hat that you get as a quest reward. I like this one a lot more, mainly because of the dress that's on her. I wanted it to look a bit heavier, because red velvet cake is in general heavier than strawberry shortcake. I made it very red and white themed. Never film around multiple cats. A whole bunch of things that shouldn't be happening will happen at the exact same time. Like my light flickering because one of the kitty cats is sitting behind the lamp. One of the cats starts sneezing uncontrollably. As I said, I actually like this one. I think that red and white gives very heavy contrast. So I gave her bigger boots as well to go with that heavier contrast of the hat and the gloves and everything. But she still looks very somewhat stylish. So like it's something that you could still wear as opposed to what strawberry shortcake was. The next prompt, the third one, is apple pie, and I had to style Stuttering Sonata, which is Fading Melody's main dress, and Wandering Dreams, which is Floating Cloud Dreams sets earrings. Earrings you practically don't see because earrings, just like all the small accessories, kind of just disappear. So I already had Stuttering Sonata in this very nice green, so I wanted to keep it that way. So I don't know. I think my apple pie might be a bit dangerous. I think that she might curse you or bring you a couple of poisoned apples, I would like to say. I went for edgier makeup. She has the whole thing around her head. She's carrying a ball because I thought it was apple-shaped. The idea is that the brown covering is a bit like the brown dough on apple pie, at the same as her heavy boots are a bit like the heavy brown dough at the bottom of apple pie, and everything in the middle is apples themselves. She's wearing kind of edgier makeup. I honestly kind of really dig this look as just like a look on Nikki, not even like something that's related to a dessert necessarily. Next up, next prompt, we have Neapolitan ice cream, and I needed to style Forest Blueprint, which is Visionary Dreamer Handheld, and Snapped Strings, which is Fading Melodies socks. And honestly, Fading Melodies socks have really tripped me up because they don't dye very well. Considering that the board doesn't have the ability to be white or pink, I've decided I'm doing brown on top and then pink at the bottom, but the socks don't go fully pink. At the same time, if you're making an outfit from brown, white, and pink that just goes brown, white, and pink, it doesn't quite look super good. So my white is closer to purpley bluey, I would say. And I tried to make Nikki look a bit more studious, a bit more plain, but still with maybe a little bit of character is how I would describe her. It's definitely not my favorite set, but it sort of works for what it's supposed to be. Next up, we have a wedding cake, and I had to style Lost in Thought, which is Visionary Dreamer's hair, and Celestial Rainbows, which is just the store item nails. Once again, small details like nails are kind of very easy to lose. I went with Wishful Rosa, and I even used the outerwear that gives a bit of flowers. I wanted to make her look like she has layers, like she's mostly white, and like she is pretty heavily decorated. So we have a ribbon at her throat, we have a little crown, which would be like the stand-in for groom and bride. That's the word, bride. That would be like at the top of the cake. So I thought we need like some sort of little decoration there. We have flowers on the body of the cake, and it is on a very, very shiny stand because I am using, I think it was one of Timeless, no, it's not Timeless, no, it was Tide of Tears Final Evolution shoes that are just very rainbowy. They're very colorful and sparkly, but sort of pink, hollow maybe. It's hard to describe. It's this like effect where there's a lot of color but also very little color, and I don't know if that makes absolutely any sense. But as a wedding cake, I do like her. Even as not a wedding cake, I do like her. I think this represents a wedding cake really, really well. So good job, me. I do actually enjoy looking at this outfit. Next, it's Candy Shop, which, dear Sheepmareeep, is not a food product, neither is it a candy. It's just a place where you buy the candy, but I kinda went off the vibes. I kinda thought that this would be a place that would be kinda colorful, would maybe have a lot of swirlies in it, would have a lot of types of candy. So for this one, I had to style Banquet of Scents, which is Lotus Whispers, the free outfit that we get this patch. Top, And Purest Lotus, which is the free outfit as we get, hat. It kind of nicely coincided that it's from the same set. Though I will say that Lotus Whispers has a bit too much white to represent a candy shop very well. I tried to make an outfit that wouldn't clash color-wise too much and would still kind of make sense as an outfit, so Nikki's a bit childish with this one. The makeup is very rainbowy. I have a sparkly pink necklace. I have some barely pinkish hair in order to just not clash with the rest of the outfit too much. I put her in the pink and blue pants, like with blue ruffles. I put her in Wings of Wishes shoes that are pink and white. It's the glow up version, I believe. She looks a bit playful. She looks kinda childish. I think it's a good vibe for a candy shop, but at the same time I'm a bit disappointed with myself because I feel like maybe I should have added a bit more brown to represent the exterior, to represent the floorboards and the walls and that sort of thing. I could have used even more color, like strong yellows and blues, but I wanted an outfit that, while being playful, didn't clash with itself too much. Welcome to the next day, hurrah! So, next up is lemon meringue. I had to use Cocoa Afternoon Tea, which is a Starlit Shop sock, and Past Lament, which is Fading Melody hair in particular. I decided to go with Wings of Wishes dress, mainly because it already looks quite floofy, so it emulates the whole meringue part of the meringue very well, and it was already in gold, so I thought, you know what, lemon meringue kinda works like that. Now, the bottom half of her is kinda dark in comparison, but that's kinda like lemon meringue base. I tried to make it work and make it look as something that's wearable and not just a food item, as I always do. I don't know if I succeeded or not, so feel free to tell me that in the comment section down below. Carrot cake. I had to use Delicate Pale Blue, which is Ingenious Maker top, and Cozy Cookie, which is Starlit Shop's socks. I made this one very playful, I would say. The midriff is darker on purpose because carrot cake is normally not all that light. However, carrot cake does have the word carrot in it and tends to be decorated with carrots, so I wanted to go with some ginger hairs, a little bit of green just in her earrings and like nowhere else to just kind of illustrate the tiny little carrot top as a decoration. I recolored the socks to be very orange and brown. I added some cowboyish shoes, I would say, and I wanted to make this outfit a bit edgier, so I just added an orange rocker top on top of the top. It's a very interesting fit. It at the very least looks kind of quirky, so she looks alive and energetic. I am slightly afraid that it's giving orange clown, but I don't know if this was a bit too much or nah. Cotton candy. I had to use Sketching Vision, which is Visionary Dreamer's armband. Not that exciting, kind of easy to incorporate, and also Harmonizing String, which is Fading Melody's hat. And it's the hat that has really tripped me up, because how do you make a hat that's so saucer shaped look anything like cotton candy? So the hat is the part of the outfit that I'm not loving as far as the cotton candy theme goes. I really love the dress because it's... Normally I don't love it on my Nikki because it's poofy at the bottom, but it fits the cotton candy theme because it's poofy at the bottom. Exactly like that. I could have gone with other dresses, but they tend to have sleeves which hides the Sketching Vision from Visionary Dreamer, so it wouldn't quite be according to the rules that I have set upon myself. I don't love nor hate this outfit. I think it is okay. It might actually be better Specifically without the hat, but then I would be eliminating myself from my own styling choices. It's the 10th part of this challenge, which was to recreate a mint chocolate as an outfit. I had to use, by my own self-imposed restrictions, Untainted Heart, which is Lotus Whispers necklace, and red and white Longing, which is Ingenious Maker skirt. This one was kind of hard. I think I like the outfit that I made because she just looks like a cool girl. I'm not too certain about the hat, but if I remove it, it doesn't quite feel right. Like, it feels like the hat should be there. So I kind of left it there. It's supposed to be a kind of cool adventure-like outfit. I mostly tried to color brown and off blue because mint isn't quite green when it comes to mint chocolate. But with the skirt, I also added subtle hints of green that don't like come through too powerfully. I don't know if this is giving toothpaste chocolate or mint chocolate. I'll leave that judgment up to you folks. I think as an outfit, it doesn't look too bad. I think I did okay on this one. And now for some sorbet. I had to use Forest Inspiration Whole Dress from Visionary Dreamer and Petals and Clouds from Starlit Shop, and that would be gloves. I made her sort of a cool girl. I know that this like covers up the gloves a little bit, quite a lot, but it makes it look like she's wearing some fingerless gloves, and also it just like goes with the whole ensemble. Sorbet is always very in your face and very colorful, so there's some lemon in there with bright yellows, there's some orange or mango with bright oranges, there's some pink in case you have ever eaten a pink sorbet. Honestly, I kind of like this as an outfit. It's very in your face, very colorful, but at the same time it doesn't quite look outlandish or too weird, if you catch my drift. Welcome to tea! I had to use Clear Sky Night, which is the top that you get from Starlit Shop, and Drifting String Song, which is the shoes from Fading Melody. This was kind of hard because Fading Melody shoes don't dye as dark as the top comes as its base color. I wanted to play with a bit more of a natural theme because most teas come from, you know, leaves, tea leaves. It's a very natural product. So I went with the greenish skirt, I dyed it a little. I went with extra sleeves that kind of look like they're tea bags, honestly. I thought that it gave a very, very cool effect. So she is leafy, she is green, she's brown, she is pretty out there, and I wouldn't want her any other way. It's another one of those outfits that I actually really enjoyed the look of. Next up, Sheepmareeep has left a space for your favorite sort of candy, and I decided to go with Strawberry Bonbon. I had to use Hazy Morning Mist hair, which is the hair from Lotus Whispers, and All Day Elegance, which is Lotus Whispers skirt. I am not gonna lie, this one was difficult mostly because the hair and the skirt are very basic. It's not bad to have basic items. Basic hair can do a lot with outrageous outfits, and having a toned down outfit can be useful here and there, but when it's the two items together, it's very hard to style anything that's outrageous, so I didn't. Instead, she has the store-bought umbrella, because yes, I did purchase it for this. I thought it's just £1. Sad to inform you, you can't dye the umbrella. I took the top from, I think that was the slinging yourself all around Spira outfit, and I just dyed it completely pink. I wanted to give her some volume, like bonbons have, without actually clashing too much with the fact that this outfit can't be anything but basic because of the two items that got prescribed to it. Time for some mochi! I went with green tea and red bean paste filling mochi, which seems to be a fairly traditional mochi. I don't really eat mochi myself, it's not a regular thing in UK. I have tried some mochi ice cream, though. That was interesting. I had to use Silent Notes from Fading Melody, that's the sleeves, and Lotus Dreams, which is the earrings from the outfit Lotus Whispers. This is one of those outfits, once again, that I really like what I came up with. Now, mind you, I just ended up with the right coloration for Mochi, and I wanted to give a bit of volume like Mochi. I wanted something that I can dye the underskirt off, because that way I can make it like brownish on the inside and then greenish on the outside, kind of like Mochi. But from there onwards, I ended up just running with my own theme and style. So she's wearing some horns, she's a bit of a magical girl, and now you have a very powerful forest nymph in here with this kind of styling. But still, I dig my own styling. I'm just not entirely sure does it still carry the Mochi theme forward, or whether I kind of ran off and made something nature-themed inspired on accident. It's time for Pavlova. I had to use Soothing Strings from Fading Melody, and that's earrings, and Silver Feather, which is a craftable. It's a hair accessory. Honestly, when both items are so small, they're kind of absolutely invisible and get lost on the whole outfit. But I really like my Pavlova outfit as a thing to wear and not like only as a food item. I think it kind of suits both at the same time. I went with the whole deserty dress from last patch, and I dyed it completely white. I added some white hairs, and this is supposed to be the base of the Pavlova, the whole white tasty shell bit that honestly I think it's meringue. I really enjoy meringues. I love meringues. Anyway, I wanted to go with this dress because it has the what the hell bottoms, and I think it kind of looks very Pavlovi when Pavlova solidifies, you know, there's still like some airiness and some turns on it, and I really wanted to display that. So for the most part, she's all white, which I love, and that's not like a racist thing, but like, I love the fact that she is top to bottom white. Like, there's something about monocolor that does it for me. And then I have done like this little red thing around her shoulders and a lot of like flowers on her hair, and the earrings I left black. This is supposed to demonstrate toppings. So like you would have like berries, raspberries, blueberries, blackberries, that sort of thing. So this is our Pavlovan toppings, and they're kind of situated at the top of her model. Not gonna lie, I would totally wear my Pavlova out on the regular in the game, so I think this outfit wins on both being a wearable thing in game and also still looking like a Pavlova. Who wants some banana pudding? I had to use Whirl of Sweetness, which is craftable earrings, and Ethereal Shoreline, which is Lotus Whispers outfit's shoes. I decided to go very comfortable. Banana pudding is primarily banana with some crunchy biscuit in it sometimes, and maybe some white mass, so I didn't want to go crazy with color. I went very banana color, and because it's such a comfort food, I wanted an outfit that just kind of displayed comfy. I think she looks appropriately banana, she looks appropriately comfy. I like that there's a dash of brown to demonstrate maybe crushed biscuit or anything else you would have inside your banana pudding. The only thing that I don't like about her is her face, and I don't mean like Nikki's features. I went with yellow to represent extra bananiness, but I think it makes her look a bit weird. What do you guys think? Welcome to Angel Food Cake. I had to use stored melophites? Or was it melodies? Either way, it's the handheld from Fading Melody, and White Pilgrimage, which is Starlit Shop gloves. That wasn't a lot to go off of, but I decided that if she's gonna be carrying around a random stick, she may as well be dressed pretty strict. She doesn't look all that sparkly or impressive, but majority of what's considered good and proper normally isn't. A religion oftentimes really tells you off from being too sparkly and self-expressive. So if we're gonna have Nikki as an angel, it only makes sense that she's somewhat plain. Plus, angel cake is like white and fluffy in the middle and like browned at the top. So I tried to kind of have a bit of brown that just kind of goes for that white in the middle. I think it works very well as a cake, even though it doesn't really work as an outfit that I would actually want to wear. Now for Devil's food cake, it's a bit more fun, I would say. I had to use Lucid Thoughts, which is Ingenious Maker's socks, and Dream Builder, which is Visionary Dreamer's boots. I put on the socks and the boots and I decided, okay, what if she's the devil because she is trying to seduce you? I unfortunately didn't have better horns. Devil food cake, from what I saw, is kind of a very rich chocolatey dessert. Some people do some red decals on it, hence why I went for this brownish, blackish sort of theme with a lot of red on it. I love it as an outfit. As a cake, it's probably a bit too much red, but you can't tell me off for however I'm decorating my quote-unquote virtual cake. Now, can you? Time for some tres leches. I have no idea how that's pronounced. I want to say leches, but that's probably incorrect. I had to use Vast Greenery, which is Visionary Dreamer's socks, and I had to use Unexpected Life, which is the Ingenious Maker boots, and that caused a severe problem. I can't get the Visionary Dreamer's socks to be light enough to actually kind of resemble the sponge of the cake. So my cake is a bit burnt because it's a lot browner than it should be. So it's very burned at about the leg area, and it's more normal sort of colored at maybe like shirt and boots. I have done a bit of like amber accessory and also some red earrings and some red headband to kind of represent the cherry that tends to be put on it, and I did a white hair in order to represent the whiteness of the cake. The cake was very plain, so I did not put any makeup on. Maybe I should have, but I thought the outfit is plain, the cake is fairly plain, so let's go with plain Nikki's face. Now for some tiramisu. I had to use Imperfect Memory, which is a craftable accessory, a choker in fact, and Bite of Summer, which is Starlit Shop Handheld, which is representing an ice cream. I like her, personally, even with the ice cream. I turned the ice cream a bit more brown. I took out this dress. I think that she's shades of brown, but she does have layers to her. It's just that they're vertical rather than horizontal. There's that white in order to break up the brown, which represents tiramisu really well. At the same time, that dress just looks so good that I could just design the whole outfit around it. And yeah, I would call her a tiramisu. I don't know about you guys, so do you think that this is tiramisu enough? Coconut cake. I had to use Jump in Logic, which is Visionary Dreamer's choker, and Hot Ice Collaboration, which is Starlit Shop's top. I did not actually notice that these items will be clashing, so you can only see a tiny bit of the choker poking through, but I feel like the top was a challenge enough because it doesn't really have lighter palettes. You can't really dye it white, so instead I tried to use the mermaid hair dyed white as a sort of like flaky stuff that goes around the cake itself, like the coconut. So her hair is doing the coconut thing. and her outfit is just like the cake sponge on the inside. I honestly don't hate this. I took a lot of pictures with this outfit. It makes me think of like a mermaid mom, if anything, because like her hair looks so magical. There's something really surreal about this version of Nikki, but she's wearing like the most normal, regular mom clothes ever, and I really like that juxtaposition in particular. Let's go for macarons. Macarons? Macaroons, probably. The most correct way to pronounce. I'm pretty sure that Macron is the president of France, but don't quote me on that. I had to use green bobo, which is a craftable pair of gloves. Come on, brain, we can do this. And cloud-like feathers, which is floating cloud dreams socks. I didn't want to cover up the socks too much. I wanted to make them obvious, and obviously I wanted to make the gloves pretty obvious. For Macaron, what I really went with, for macaroon rather, is it tends to be a colorful thing on both sides, and it tends to be like the white filling in the middle. So I went with a lot of sandwich ideas. Socks are striped. It's like green and white pretty much. The skirt, there we go, thank you brain, is yellow and white as layers. And then the shirt is like green and white also as layers. And her head has a green hat with yellow hair. So everything is effectively repeated layers, which is how I was trying to capture the concept of a macaroon. Welcome to Flan, where I needed to use a lovely hair tie from Ingenious Maker and Light Way Home from Floating Cloud Dreams. Lovely hair tie is a hair tie, I'm pretty sure it's self-explanatory. Light Way Home are owl slippers. Yeah, this one was hard. I went for the concept of Nikki is comfy, I guess. I wanted to do a haircut that would show off the whole hair tie thing, instead of just... If you do any kind of tied up hair, it literally becomes a hair tie. This way it's kind of worn like a band, so it is more visible on her hair. Also, Flan tends to be like darker at the top and the bottom because you pour syrup on it or something else that's tasty. So I tried to make like dark hair, hair tie, dark slippers, and kind of whitish, brownish, orangish in the middle. I think I got the gradient of a flan correct. I'm just not entirely sure how usable this outfit is as not a flan. Mainly because of the slippers, honestly. I suppose if you needed an outfit for comfy Nikki at home, this would work. And are you ready for the last entry? It is a birthday cake. I needed to use Unique Heart, which is earrings from Ingenious Maker, and lightweight gloves, which is the gloves from Ingenious Maker. This was such a hard journey, guys. I didn't mind making 24 stylings. I do mind the fact that I forced myself to make 24 stylings across exactly 3 days. That was quite difficult. Anyway, I decided that birthday cakes tend to be cheery, wide, visible, so I went with a big, wide, visible dress, pastels, blue pastel, pink pastel. I wanted to make Nikki look busy there, but still kinda friendly. And also I put on one of those neon crowns on her because I thought it's like birthday cake candles. Okay, so like that's what that symbolizes. Anyway, that's me done. If you want share codes, they're in the description down below for any reason whatsoever. I had a lot of fun in this, but once again, maybe don't like make yourself do this in 3 days if you're ever gonna do this. Still, I do absolutely love Infinity Nikki community for coming up with very, very creative challenges. I know that's more meant for people that make shorts, because that way you can like upload a short a day, or for people to do it at home and to do like one a day, but I'm a YouTuber. I effectively love long videos apparently, so I'm like, let me just style 24 outfits in 3 days. I do love that I made it harder on myself by adding items that I absolutely had to use. Some of these were very hard because of it. Like, what do you do when you just like get a builder's helmet? Or like a full outfit, pretty much. You're like, how am I supposed to work with this? But that's what makes challenges like really, really fun and exciting for me. The part that is challenging. And you know that the end product might not be as good because of like the challenge bit, but the challenge bit is the one that's fun because you're forced to incorporate something into the outfit. One thing that I would change if I was to do this again is I wouldn't randomize my items. I would actually make sure that every fit has one big thing that I need to incorporate, because I feel like when it came to the entries where I just had a couple accessories, I kind of felt like I had free reign because the accessories are barely visible, so like I could plan the whole outfit, and I feel like there's just not enough constraint in that. But at the same time, it proved to be a nice vacation from just having to incorporate like a specific big outfit piece. Anyway, I know that this was a bit of a hit and miss probably, if anyone like watched through all of the outfits, but I hope that there were some hits. Like, I hope that at some points you would agree that it either looked similar to the food item that I was trying to represent, or it looked wearable. If you can agree for those, for at least some entries, to thank you, that means that I have done a good job. So if you agree that some entries are either wearable or look like the food item, please leave me a comment stating that. Anyway, I'm gonna get a lot of rest now because I do need it. That was a very big video. I don't know if I'm ever gonna be doing 24 stylings in one video again. Doesn't sound like the smartest, wisest idea that a person may have. So yeah, I really want to get some sleep. Thank you for watching. I hope you're gonna tune in for my other Infinity Nikki videos too. Thank you so much for my Patreon supporters, and toodaloo for now.